country, if they have a right to do business with China.
See, all right. I was just saying, we're not going over right now what you said. I'm saying the fact that his mouth was open, he was lying.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're talking about yet. You haven't heard it yet.
I'll try to find that. It's really rude. It's really rude for him to be.
Girl, yeah, you ain't seen rude yet.
No, she's talking about Trump.
No, she's talking about me. She just talking about me in the chat.
No, I was talking about the way Trump was speaking to the president of the Philippines. I wasn't talking about you, Deborah. In the chat, I was.
Yeah, my apologies.
It's in my plan, so no, that was not meant to be you. Okay, so I'm gonna try to, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna try to locate that particular, if he's talking about Obama, in that particular interview or whatever, he's meeting with the of course we want to see what he says.
Yeah, he's talking about Obama. I posted a video in the chat where he's saying that they caught Obama red-handed, Obama coming in treason, and they arrest Obama and all that shit.
When he was talking with the Philippine,
yeah, that's from an hour ago. Yes.
Okay, I'll try to find that. Dang. They're not posting it right now, and they're running something live, but I know I can't rewind it.
Thread videos on thread. I'll post some thread videos onto the channel. So.
Yeah, thank you. Things are kind of going crazy right now. I mean, after what he just, said. I'll try to find it. I'm just looking at this stuff right now, and I see. Let me just cue it up. There's something on YouTube about him being with the Filipino president right now, the Philippines president right now. Let me go and investigate it. Y'all can jump in, but I don't want to play it if he's not talking about what we're talking about right now. So let me go look at it. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
All right, everybody in the history of this country, you know one thing. So even if Obama did know something, let's not forget he was the first African American president, non-white president in a white supremacist country. If he did know something or say something or choose not to say anything, we all know, we don't have to ask him, we don't need no proof. He did it to protect himself, Michelle Obama, and his daughters. He wouldn't say nothing to get them hurt or killed. And honestly, I believe that's acceptable. You see, but when you have a white man in a white supremacist country not wanting to give up information about Epstein in a white supremacist country, it's a totally different thing. Whether anybody wants to admit to it or not. I mean, I'm not going to hold Obama accountable for saying something or not saying something in order to keep his family from being assassinated, as compared to a white man in this country who really has nothing to fear from the white supremacists, except for even white supremacists are not going to support a pedophile.
But that he left office in 2016, 2017. Every wasn't reelected in 2019. How would he have said that?
He was arrested under Trump's intervention. But the thing is, a lot of people I've heard other Republicans speak of, if there was issues with Trump, it would have come out in the Biden, during the Biden campaign when he was president. And the reality is that it may not have, because the thing is, just like what Gerald was saying, is that they also, we also have to respect our previous, I don't know, there's an element of, I don't know that level of which they make decisions around, but you have to wonder, why didn't this come out? And perhaps maybe it was because they were trying to hold it back because Trump's name was exposed so many times. I mean, at some point, other presidents do respect the previous presidents of the United States of America, because that's normally what our history has done, even if they're different parties. That's the shameful thing. And they created this whole conspiracy theory, so they created this whole problem for themselves. I didn't even realize that they were making this such a big issue. I mean, I think it's disgusting, frankly, like the whole Epstein thing. It is unbelievable, but I didn't know that this was part of they were actually promoting this during when Trump was actually running for election. So, new news to me, but I'm not exactly happy to hear it, because it's not fun to hear, because this is reality. This did happen. It happened to caused this conspiracy theory to blow back on them. And now, so that's the sad thing. And it's sad for the women, and no one's even talking about the women and the girls. And that's the saddest thing about that.
So the original arrest was actually the second term George W. Bush. It was way back. And that's when Acosta, who became Labor Secretary under Trump, gave him like the most ridiculous softest deal of all time. And completely pulled the rug out from underneath these girls and young women who had been, trafficked, raped, violated in all kinds of ways, and were looking for, some modicum of justice, and he basically screwed them over. So the story goes way, way, way back. I think it's important to remember that this isn't since 2019. Like that deal that Epstein got back in, I think it was 07 or 08, is a really big part of this, and it's telling that Trump decided to hire this guy as his labor secretary, a whole 8 or 9 years later.
And also,
And was not qualified for that role at all.
you also have to reflect too that Pam Bondi, state of Florida, that's who gave the state of Florida is who gave him the deal. He got 12 hours in prison, 12 hours to go. That was the first. And actually, I think part of that agreement was that his people that helped him were I don't know what the term is for it right now. It's not coming to my mind. That's I think what Ghislaine was trying to they would actually no one else. The agreement was that no one else would be have to go to prison. Is my understanding, something of that nature. A very exceptional prison term, 12 hours in, 12 hours out per day.
I think the wisest thing we can do is push back on anyone who claims to be Christian. And that is a reason for supporting Trump, because this makes their claims of Christianity absolutely empty. And I really think Democrats in general spend too much time using knives at a gunfight. This is time to pull out the big guns, and the big guns is if you are true to your faith, you cannot support this kind of activity. And if that one doesn't work, then every man who is a father of a daughter needs to be said, what if that was your daughter?
Any woman.
Okay, hold on, you guys. I found the thing, so go ahead and finish your thought. I'll see.
But Marjorie Taylor Greene, I have to say, for once in my life, I actually agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene stance. I cannot believe I would ever say that in my entire life.
I can't believe you said it right now.
Well, no, because she wants it all to come out. She's appalled by it. I mean, I don't know if you've seen her last, and actually I was quite impressed because she sounded crazy manic, but she sounded calming, so this is appalling.
We don't have to give credit to monsters. It's okay. You can be on the same side as people who aren't horrific and not give horrific people credit. It's really allowable. I don't understand this desire to align yourself with the other side in moments like this, because Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't actually going to push for accountability. She's not actually an ally.
She actually is. She is the one. She is speaking up, though. I appreciate that.
Well, that's just because not every white supremacist wants to be recognized as a pedophile.
That part is true. That part.
Right. And then I wonder whatever happened to the judicial system, even in public opinion, right? So all these people talking about, it don't make no sense for this to come out, or that to come out. Oh, well, hell, shit, everything needs to come out. It needs to come. I mean, if Trump didn't do nothing, hey, let it come out and say he didn't do nothing. Don't just say, hey, this going on here, and we were doing this, we were doing it. We need to know. We all need to know.
So Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
Mike Johnson said
They let you know everything else. They let you know everything else, right?
Mike Johnson.
Yeah, thank you, Deb. Deb, hang on the stage for a minute while I'm trying to get this clip together.
Hey, man, she can go, man.
No, sweetheart, I'm not trying to cut you, but I just watched Speaker Johnson to the House GOP give Trump time to deal with Epstein. He's dead. Give Trump time to deal with Epstein. That's what Michael Johnson said. That's what he's saying. Give Trump time to. That's on CNN right now. It's on CNN right now.
Do you really think Mike Johnson, who owes his entire power to Donald Trump?
I don't think he's
Here's person to hold Donald Trump accountable if there's things to hold him accountable.
You think like
He's the man. He is the man. He is the man running interference. It's like you're literally talking about the person who's going to be part of the cover up and being like, "Isn't it great?"
Give
There's gonna be
Trump
transparency.
time
It's
to deal.
absolute. Yes, yes. What he's doing.
Epstein is dead. Give Trump time.
I know. What I'm saying is Mike Johnson. Like you're giving credit to people for like saying in public that pedophilia is bad, which is like saying the sky is up and the earth is down. Like giving participation trophies to Republicans in this moment is maddening. Like, why would we do that? Like, pedophilia is like that is like the absolute most basic standard. It's like saying murdering people is bad. Like, no, you get 0 points for that. Okay, cool. You showed up, and all that means is that you're not gonna get lumped in with other horrific people who are defending the practice and not trying to expose the Johns who are part of the trafficking of girls and young women. Like, you get 0 points. Like, stop giving them credit, please.
But that was no credit. I just think it's just completely asinine that he would say that. Give Trump time to deal with Epstein. He's dead. I mean, he has to deal with what he's done, is what Trump has.
And we have to deal with Donald Trump, and we have to get the son of a gun out of office as soon as
Now, yes.
Now. And I think maybe what we should do, and I will be happy to work with Lisa on this if she's interested, but if they're going to stop the House, then we should have 24/7 hours rooms in Clubhouse about this so that everywhere they turn, they cannot get away with it.
I agree. I don't mind working with anybody collaborating on this, but Alan, 24 hours. We closed our room at 4 a.m. and reopened this room because of this evidence that came out with gasoline. It's just, to me, this man has literally single-handedly destroyed this country.
Exactly.
They are the laughing stock of the world.
Exactly.
People are looking at us. We were supposed to be the greatest country in the world. And how is that possible when you have this person at the helm? How is that possible? Every single day there's some crazy, dumb, disrespectful shit coming out of the White House. We've accomplished nothing but the immigrants stopping them. Okay, I can admit that, they said no one's coming over the border. There's definitely an immigration problem or situation going on in this country. So now that the border has been tamed, it was never open, but now that they have stopped the crossing, the illegal crossings are down to almost whatever they say, nothing. And who's to believe that? We don't even know if the numbers are correct of what he's talking about. Now we're shipping people all over the world. They're coming into, from what I'm understanding, they're coming into New York because of a sad situation that happened with one of the agents where he was shot in the face. So now they're going to flood New York, and I don't know how that's going to look, trying to find immigrants. And the way they're going to do it, how the profiling is set up, is where you work, whatever that means, how you look, how you sound. Now imagine that going on in New York. It's going to be a shit show because everybody looks, sounds, and works in places that you would consider immigrants to be somewhere around, right? So that's going to be a shit show in itself. But other than that, what exactly has happened, except for the ingratiation of President Donald Trump and his family with money, with kickbacks, with grifts, what exactly has happened? We're getting ready to take food from people who need food in a country where the population is obese, and we throw away food we throw away food every day in this country. We destroy crops in this country every fucking day, but we want to make it our priority to take away, number one, food. Then number two, healthcare. In a country this rich, where we have the richest man in the world walking around here running through our government who wasn't elected, running through our personal information. We are concentrating on taking away health care from people that need health care, and the parameters that they're setting are already in place right now. You do have to work to be on Medicaid if you meet the parameters. If there are other parameters that you met where you don't have to work, if you're handicapped or you're in a certain age group. So I don't know what we're doing right now here.
Hey, breaking news, Lisa. You mind?
Yeah, no, absolutely, thank you.
So, Mike Johnson, so the headline on NewYorkTimes.com right now is Johnson to shut down House until September to avoid Epstein vote. So basically, there was it's called something petition, discharge petition, that's what it's called. And so basically, this is where House members can force a vote by getting enough signatures and without the speaker to sign off on it. And so he's literally shutting down the House early. So the summer break, just to avoid this vote. So they're just trying to buy him time, which is bananas. Like, that is, because it's gonna work. It was supposed to be until,
You're right.
I don't think they were supposed to go on break until almost the end of the week. I think it's the end of the week.
It won't work if we don't let it work.
It's just politically, it's going to work. It's going to stir the pot, though, and it's not going to address the issue that's Lisa's talking about, that New York is about to find out, and LA knows.
But we might not quite pass the budget, though. Do you also understand that?
Well, they're gonna, the last minute they'll pass it again. It's
Wait, so does that mean that Mike Johnson supports pedophilia? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what it means.
Exactly.
All right, let's rock with that. Mike Johnson and the Republican congressman support pedophilia.
And they're about to go home to all their districts, which is going to be such a big opportunity to protest and get in their faces. They're going to be at town halls, like that's what happens in August recess, where like they go home to their districts and they got to talk to the people. So I actually don't know that that's going to make their life that much easier.
I think it's ambitious to think that the Epstein thing will stay for 6 weeks in the news cycle.
Well, I don't think it's not gonna die. It's far from not. It's not gonna die.
Yeah, but think about how much new stuff can be drummed up before that.
Say no.
You say-
Okay, I gotta ask you this question. I'm sorry for the noise. This is New York City, and I got.
I'm here too, Lisa.
Oh, hey, welcome. It should be like 100 degrees today.
I know, it's nice and it's a nice outside. Yeah.
No, I don't know the weather, but it's been in the 90s, so.
It's in the 70s today.
It's freezing out here. It's freezing out here, Lisa.
You're in California, be quiet.
Yeah. But does that mean the Democrats should be
I
doing?
think Lisa was gonna ask a question, so.
I was asking Lisa a question. Can I do that? Okay, thanks. Does that mean that Lisa, the Democrats are gonna do an anti-pedophilia town hall tour across Republican districts all over the United States in August now that there's a recess through Labor?
Hey, you know what, you guys? They're crazy not to take advantage of this fucking layup. We missed a lot of layups. You know, if they don't take advantage of the fact that this shit is trying to be squashed and pushed down and that Obama's been pushed forward, I don't know what to tell you guys at this point. You know, all the shit I'm gonna start believing about Democrats that these freaking righties are talking about. So, let's see what happens.
Let's take it out of the Democrat and Republican. I mean, pedophilia. Wrong is wrong. I don't care what. I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat, but I'm just saying wrong is wrong. Trying to put it back into something political. This is wrong.
A Democrat.
All the stuff that's going on. And you know, you said earlier that Trump single-handedly. No, he didn't single-handedly do nothing. It's all the white supremacists in the United States who have a hand in this stuff. And it's all imploding. The whole idea of white supremacy in this country is imploding right now. They can't stop it. They're going to do everything like try to sully Martin Luther King Jr., sully Obama, do all the other kind of stuff. And I'm telling anybody who's white and think you supreme right now, they all imploding. Your time is over. Just give it a little more time, and there will be no more white supremacy in this land.
That's ambitious.
Not as we know it. This country is going to fall apart. It's going to be the white supremacist fault.
Hey, can you reiterate the ties to Roy Cohn? Can you reiterate the ties that they got? Yeah, I don't think the people know. They need to know how connected these people are.
Yeah, that's amazing information. Thank you, Scotty, for doing it.
Oh yeah, I'll be super quick about it too.
Take your time and be thorough, because this is some amazing shit if you guys don't know it.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll remind. Okay, so cool. Yeah, Roy Cohn got his start working as on the legal team of Senator Joseph McCarthy out of Wisconsin in the 50s. At the same time that J. Edgar Hoover was heading the FBI, which he did for decades. And what they did was prosecute communists, entertainment actors, Hollywood, any suspected communists, anybody on the left, basically, to the point where they ran them out of their own business, they bankrupted them, and sometimes they killed them, like Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, that they ended up executing. Roy Cohn was the lead prosecutor in that execution. That was his first, really big case. Anyway, fast forwarding a little bit, we know how much the right wing in America and the FBI hated the people on the left, Democrats, socialists, communists. Fast forward to 1973, Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father and a real estate developer, along with Donald Trump, were getting prosecuted by the federal government for discrimination against black people, not letting them into housing. And who did they hire? They hired Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn, again, was Trump's personal attorney and political fixer up until the time Roy Cohn died in 1986 of, yes, AIDS. And yes, he was a self-hated gay, never came out of the closet, or on top of that, but that's a side issue. So Roy Cohn was also connected to Roger Stone, who they met in the late 70s, around 1980, to help Ronald Reagan win his campaign. And what am I missing here in connecting the dots? Roy Cohn was an evil fucking person, and he ended up, again, working for Trump up until he died.
Also, Epstein. Don't forget about the bracelet.
Yes, thank you. So also, on top of that, Roger Stone was also the one who ended up getting a bunch of people together to expose Eliot Spitzer, the governor of New York, so that he ended up resigning. And on top of that, Roy Cohn was disbarred in 1985 because of some real shitty activity as a lawyer. To get disbarred, it's pretty tough to do, but nonetheless, he was disbarred. But one of the witnesses for Roy Cohn in 1985 was none other than Donald Trump himself, that he went on record as a character witness for Roy Cohn. At the same time, Roy Cohn was also Alan Dershowitz's attorney as well. Alan Dershowitz is all over the Epstein files as well. And on top of it, Roy Cohn, who ended up being penniless because that's how he wanted to, and he also owed the IRS a lot of tax money because he was a scumbag and avoided taxes. He did leave one thing. He had one thing to his name, which was a diamond bracelet. That diamond bracelet was left after his death to none other than Donald Trump. And I think that's part of the story.
Well, sometimes having the bracelet, you know, you can have a bracelet, but you don't have to have a diamond bracelet. That's the whole point. You know, you can have a bracelet, but you don't have to have a diamond bracelet. You know,
Yes,
Roy Cohn told, what, I'm gonna put my little, I don't know too much as Scotty, does. But I do know that he talks about Roy Cohen all the time, and Roy Cohen never told him never to admit to anything. To lie until the lie becomes the truth. That was Roy Cohen, and there's a couple of biographies out on him. He was the original fixer, Scotty, right? Before he hooked up with, yeah, he was Donald Trump's original fixer. There's a lot of great, he taught Donald Trump everything he knows how to be a scumbag at the highest level. And then came his other fixer later on. So
she often would tell me this story. Just keep in mind, because we used to live near Trump Village. My mom was telling me about this story where his dad had an attorney be his mentor, and she talks. She must have been telling me this for years, like even before he went into politics. My mother would always tell me this. So now I'm hearing, more details of the story. I never dived into it. The most diving I did into Mr. Trump was his original name, which was Trump. And when I go back to his great-great-grandfather, he comes from a long line of Dodge drafters, and they left the country under the circumstances. I mean, if you begin to look at the lineage of where this came from, you will know that this is why he's become a subject matter expert at what he does. This did not just happen overnight. He was definitely groomed, and I believe my mother said that the attorney who was doing the grooming she said he was a homosexual, and she does. Yeah, my mom would tell me this for years, and my mother's not even into politics, but she always told me these stories. So now I have the other piece of it. Good job, bro. That was Scott that did that.
Spirit, yes.
Oh, thank you. Good breakdown.
It's all documented. It's all, there's plenty of evidence.
Yeah, no, but it's good when one of us has gone in and done the research and the homework and brings it to the floor, because we actually can tell, like, when somebody does that. So that offers a lot of value to the room, like when we argue on something to bring it to the stage. So, thank you.
I think the connection that's important that we talked about last night, Lisa, is the fact that this is a very small group of people, all interconnected for decades and decades and decades. So we all know how scummy the FBI is. Well, J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI, was a building in his name for decades and decades and decades. And Roy Cohn was part of that machine. So I don't know if you're thinking the FBI is gonna be doing kosher shit in the late '60s or even up until today. I don't know. You better get your head checked.
yeah, because isn't it funny how even John F. Kennedy couldn't get rid of J. Edgar Hoover?
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy couldn't even get rid of him. But he had that whole fight because of the shit that he had and the way he was moving in the FBI. He tried his damnedest to get rid of that man, but he couldn't get rid of him.
Oh, right. And separate from that, Roy Cohn had a lot of evidence. I mean, the FBI, as we know, taped everybody. But Roy Cohn also was suspected and maybe even convicted, I'm not sure, of blackmail and all this other stuff because he had a lot of evidence on a lot of people. So these people have been scummy and connected for a very long time, and Trump has been in that cycle, and for a very, very long time. This isn't new shit just because Trump became president in 2016. This has been going on for decades.
Yeah, because he couldn't get where he wanted to be, and that was with the elite of New York. And he is not the elite of New York. He could never get in with that crowd, with that old money, the people, the movers and the shakers. So that's why he ended up going to Studio 54 and hanging out with the rappers and all this kind of stuff like that. Because like they said, he was socially awkward. They didn't come from old money. His father's background was sketchy as hell. It's just a lot going on. So Trump is no fucking anybody to emulate. Look, we don't have to keep going over and over the stuff that he did while he was reported supposedly running his empire. How he screwed out so many little people and big people for that. But he's just not a decent person. And to come to find out now that he spent most of his formative years allegedly dealing with minors. This guy should have never, not only been nominated, but to actually be in the White House now is a disgrace to the country. That's all I have to say.
Sorry, and just adding to that point, Roy Cohn also represented mafia bosses, Tony Salerno, Galante, John Gotti, Mario Gigante, and also George Steinbrenner.
That's correct.
New York Yankees owner for decades. So, oh, and also the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York. I'm done.
And no, truth be told, guys, hold on, real quick. Truth be told, guys, is this, right? He actually runs his organization, his administration like a mobster. He uses terms like don't rat, stay, or like look at the kiss to ring. The whole thing is based on mafia style rule. Like, just look at it. You guys can, it's not even hard to put the pieces together. He runs it.
This is all
He
gangster.
runs it. Yeah, it is gangster.
Gangster stuff.
It's gangster.
Our new America. Welcome to
Yep.
America.
Yep.
Lisa, I don't want to compete with you in any way, but if you know when you're going to be, basically when you're going to be done with this, I will put up a room called Mike Johnson Supports Pedophilia, but I'd like to not compete with you. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea because I have a thing with politically correct tonight. We still gonna, like I said, we can still have people send people your sorry guys, send people your way, and you can go ahead and announce the time that you're gonna do it in this room so that you can get the people who are interested in being there. They can.
Okay, but my main objective is to make sure that regardless of when someone comes into Clubhouse, we are taking away from each other. Regardless of when somebody comes into Clubhouse, they can find this kind of information. That's my objective.
I appreciate you. It's nice to know that we can work together on this. But I don't have any team time right now. But I'll come to your back channel and
Yeah, we can think about it. There's no rush.
After the Steve Colbert stuff, you saw all Jimmy Fallon, they all, after all this madness that's going on, with him corrupting every industry that we have, I mean, I don't see how we can't get him out of the house at this point, because this is, honestly, he's coming from all angles. This is how bad those Epstein files are.
yeah, and the mere fact that we are going to go on recess after they requested or subpoenaed. So what does it mean? Are they not going to go and talk to her until when are they coming back?
After Labor Day.
Oh hell, are you serious?
That's why I said, Lisa, they got 5 weeks to come up with all sorts of stuff, plan for strategy. Yeah, this will look totally different after Labor Day.
Go ahead, bro.
Now, real briefly, what comes to my mind right away is, hey, what's going on, family? What comes to my mind, shout out to me, so the room down, and Scotty, everybody, just more information is the only thing that's going to save the masses of the people. And less information is like public enemy number one. But number two, but let me just say this, Maxwell, just saying, how do you anticipate that conversation between him and being? In my mind, if she came up committing suicide soon, that would fit the narrative that everything happens a certain kind of way. Because now they know she got some smoking guns. She and Comey, the one that prosecuted her, knows a whole lot. So when you start seeing people, oh, we don't need Comey anymore around at home. We don't take the mic from a lot of people, because I think that's the number one fear that he has is the connectivity. His connectivity to all kinds of, like you're talking about right now. That coming out, that'll force people to go down certain roads and have certain thoughts and certain conversations. And that scares him more than anything on this planet. And I think that's what, and like somebody brought out, who he's afraid of. He got some people he's afraid of. Contrary to what he tells,
Talking, see, let me finish talking. I'm tired of interrupting people like that. Cut it out.
yeah, contrary to how he tries to sell the world on he's the greatest thing ever walked earth, he know there's some folks that he don't want to be on the bad side of. I'm sure of that. We're hearing that in this conversation right now. He know that there's some powers across this planet that not so hungry for truth to come out. But yeah, so go ahead and go to Basil Wall Street Journal and because in that process, bring it all out. And the masses want to see what's really going on, man. Want to see the Wizard of Oz, pull the curtain back.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Well, it's not going to happen that way, but it's happening. Trust me, there's a lot more coming out now than there's ever been out across the masses of the people and technology. And so, the full story, I get your point. Maybe some things won't. But one thing people learn, believe it or not, they're not stupid. Believe it or not. At the end of the day, it's like okay, I know you're going to go. That's why I had to preface it with saying, believe it or not. I know you're going to put it.
I like saying that. I was just going to say, y'all go right into it. But that makes sense. I was surprised how quickly all the MAGA influencers just switched when he started mentioning Obama and arresting. So a lot of them are forgetting the Epstein thing and focusing on that. So
A lot aren't. Focus on the ones that ain't dropped into your shit. And Mike Johnson getting kind of scared too. He ain't falling in. You see, so what's Bongino? What's going on, Bongino? What's been happening? Bondi. So those pressing questions, because here again, there's government of the people, by the people, for what? For the people. And the people is 330 million. So, like he said, it's a very small percentage that want it is quote unquote, but it's that files all things related to Maxwell and the case and all these other people. Why is he doing time? Them questions ain't gonna leave history. History books ain't gonna let that fade away. So, but because masses are way bigger than the elite top, and the masses is catching hell on earth right now. That's a different time, so you can make some of these decisions if you want to. But trust and believe, they on the run. They're going to
Rich Nasdaq, Disney.
the guy I cut off, sorry, the guy I cut off.
What you wanted to say,
I think it's ironic, the dichotomy is that he's releasing all these files for money, MLK and JFK. But it's like, the irony is he wants to be known as this person who's trying to rewrite history. All this is going to come out in time, whether or not he's alive or not. It's unfortunate that we have to go through this. And it's that direction kicked out.
And that's the thing about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King did one of his speeches. He said that the United States is going through a process just like ancient Rome. After Caesar was assassinated, all the other leaders that came behind tried to do something, were all crazy, tried to do something to try to save Rome, but Rome eventually, after some time, Rome eventually fell. And he said the United States of America, at that time in the 60s, was going through the same process. Now, the thing we have to think about also is once Trump, whether he leaves office or passes away from natural causes since he's about 80 years old, who's going to be the leader after him to try to save this country from imploding and being destroyed?
Marco Rubio.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it'll be Marco Rubio. I agree with that. Not only that, you also have a lot of current shifts that's happening in the country as well. Populations are changing, and cities are changing from area states like California, New York, and southern states. You've got a conservative swing from the younger voting demographic. So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see brand Grizzly